Our very special guest today, our friend Elwood Martin, is here with Freedom Ministries and Thrift Stores. Good morning, Elwood.
Good morning.
So great to have you here. You have a fantastic voice.
Oh, thank you.
Love your voice. Anybody you want to say hi to this morning?
Well, family and friends that are up and about. It's a little early yet, but love to see them up and at it.
Now tell us all about Freedom Ministry and what you guys do.
Freedom Ministry is a 10-month program. It brings hope, healing, and help to young men who are older men who struggle with addiction. And it includes their families, too, because there's always a ripple effect. Families are involved in this ministry. So they come in 10 months. If they do well, they get to go out and work the last part of their stay.
Okay.
But it's a community where we learn healing and help for what they've struggled with.
And you have a great story to share with us about how God has worked through Freedom Ministry.
Well, one thing is our associate pastor at church was an addict 6 years ago. Came through the program, gave his heart to the Lord. Wasn't always easy, but he remained the course. He, in the last year, became associate pastor in our church and getting married in 2 months.
Wow.
What a tremendous story of a guy that's 42 years old.
That is amazing. Now, you are the Chief Operating Officer of Freedom Ministry, but you've been part of Freedom Ministry since it began. And tell us a little bit about your story, how you got involved.
Well, back in 2011, a man approached us about starting a ministry away from Teen Challenge here in Lancaster County. He thought it was so important here. We had good givers here. You go into some other areas, people hold their hands in their pockets and don't give. So we're supported completely from the community. We don't get any state funding. And I've been involved as a board member since then and a work coordinator for the last 6 years, where I take men out and we do work projects, deliver furniture, pick up furniture, donations, and that sort of thing for the ministry. So I've been involved at some point or level along the whole road.
That's very cool. And part of what you guys do and the way you support yourself as well through these jobs is through your thrift stores. Tell us about that.
We have 2 locations at this point. It's considered New Holland address, but it's in Blue Ball, and the one over in Route 30. And I attended store the other day in the afternoon and just was blown away by telling people what their money's going for. And it stops them in their tracks and it's like, oh my. And then I had one lady come up and said, I lost my son 5 years ago at 30 years old to addiction. And just stopped in that moment and it's like, where do we go from here? And she gave me her hand and just held on.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, you have an event coming up if folks want to find out more about what you're doing and support what you're doing. Tell us about that.
We have a banquet coming up here September 23rd. Mark Schultz is going to be the featured speaker. He's a music artist, but also he was adopted at 2 weeks old and has a tremendous story and a heart for those adopted. And many of the guys in our program have adoption experiences.
Okay.
And there's a certain stigma that goes with being adopted sometimes, and people... I don't know. They don't know what to feel. And so it's a tremendous story coming.
So it's coming up September 23rd, and it's at Shady Maple Banquet
Yes, sir.
Center?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Very cool.
Absolutely right.
With Mark Schultz. Do people need to make reservations ahead of time?
Yes.
Okay.
They should let us know that they're going to be there or be sponsored through a friend or something for a table.
And is the best way to do that through your website?
That's right.
And it's ROFM.org. So Revelation of Freedom Ministry was the original name. You guys just say Freedom Ministry now. So ROFM.org. You can get more information about the ministry there or about the upcoming banquet. We're going to talk more with Elwood on the way, so stick around. This morning, our very special guest is COO of Freedom Ministries, Elwood Martin. Good morning again, Elwood.
Good morning. Good
So
to be here.
fabulous to have you here and get to meet you and
Thank
know
you.
you. Love hearing what God is doing through Freedom Ministries. Tell us what you guys do.
Well, we have men come into the program who have struggled with addiction, one form or another. We don't have any sexual addictions in the program, not allowed by the neighborhood, and that's okay. But we work with these men. Last Sunday, 3 were baptized, and according to what I'm hearing now, 3 more are looking to be baptized. So that's a big deal. People who have made an inward confession of faith, an outward sign by being baptized. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal, and that is awesome. And you guys, where are you guys located?
We're located in Blue Ball with a New Holland address, 114 Rank Church Road, New Holland.
And one way you support what you're doing is through your thrift stores.
Absolutely. We have 2 thrift stores, and what I'm just amazed at is the support from the community, not only in donating, but then turning around and buying. The best story is my wife donated something to the ministry, and 2 weeks later, my daughter was home with the same item. So proud of her purchase.
That's hilarious. I love that. Now, Freedom Ministries is having their Victory Banquet, an evening of freedom stories. It's Tuesday, September 23rd. Shady Maple Banquet Center, 6 o'clock. Special guest Mark Schultz. I know you're very excited about this night. Tell us all about it.
Well, Mark Schultz is a special guy. He was adopted at 2 weeks old, said his parents chose him, where their biological children, they didn't get to choose. They just took what came. But he, a good songwriter and singer, but then storyteller.
Yeah, he's a great storyteller.
Amazing at storytelling. And so it'll be a night of singing and storytelling, but also finding out more about the ministry. It is a fundraiser banquet, that it is. But we want you to have a good time, enjoy the evening, and see what God's doing in the ministry.
Will you have any of your folks come and share their testimonies?
I don't know for sure the itinerary, but it'd be wise for us to get somebody to stand up there and tell about what happened. I have one man in the program that he's just on fire, and he works at a local business there, and he's just like a light shining in that business when you come in the door. So that's a great idea.
Love that. A great opportunity for you to find out what God is doing through Freedom Ministries, a great opportunity for you to support. It's coming up September 23rd at Shady Maple. Folks need their tickets ahead of time, though.
They should get reservations ahead of time. Seats are like $65 if you want to sponsor a table, like $700 some. And there's other sponsorship levels, but love to see you there one way or another. Just let us know if you're coming, if you're not coming with another person that sponsored a table.
And is the best way for folks to make reservations online?
Yep.
Okay.
ROFM.org.
ROFM.org, Revelations of Freedom Ministry, ROFM.org. You can make your reservations today. Elwood, we enjoyed having you here. Thank you so much for coming and tell us about Freedom Ministry.
It's been a blessing. Thank you.